Hey, what's shaking, everybody? It is February 1st, Tuesday, early afternoon here in Greenwood, Arkansas. We're getting ready for an incoming snowstorm. In front of me, man, I have today's sales that I'm getting ready to put in the mail. And there's some interesting cards in here for sure. We'll talk about some of them more in depth later on. But just to go through this quick breakdown, here's going. And a lot of these are under $2 cards. So the price point for the buyer is going to be right at $2.50 or under. So that's where the price point is on this opportunity for the buyer. So anyway, there's Danny Jones, Topps Magic, Randall Cobb, a nice red, white, and blue Kenny Anderson. And a few of these have moved over the past month or so, actually more than what I had thought. There was a time where you got a Bingle and a Kenny Anderson, and you thought, geez. And then we got I think 2018 playoff Eli Manning. Yep, and that's going out, just a single card there. And then a guy stopped by and he picked up some Juwan Jennings, and this guy's had a nice playoff run. We had a set of 4 Prism rookie cards in there, and that's going out. And a move that I do with this one. So what I did was I took a card protector sheet, and I cut that third row off, leaving 2. I fit the 2 cards into the protector sheet like that. I've got some drop cardboard that just happened to be the same size, so I'll trim up that weird edge. I like to send it out with, all the edges are crisp and clean. It just looks better. Even though the material is repurposed, it just looks better. So it'll go like that. And then we'll, of course, painters tape it together. And then we've got an A6 envelope. And so this is like a postcard style envelope. And an A6, it's handy to have some A6 envelopes on hand just for situations like this, because those 4 cards would require a 110-point top loader. And a 110 top loader will exceed the 1/4 inch thickness variance that USPS allows. So that's it, and that's that for the A6 envelope like that. 4 rookie cards at $1, man, you can't beat it. And then, the Bengals are picking up momentum, as we can see with the Kenny Anderson. Here's that other, that card sheet move like that, and then that'll go between, once again, a couple fillers, a couple longer fillers. And then for that one, that's that number 10 envelope. And then, of course, we'll painters tape it together. This is all stuff after the fact, once the label's been printed and all that good stuff. And it, believe it or not, once you tape it in there, it fits in there a lot nicer. So then there's 6 cards going out, man. That's easily there. I think it weighs out. Let's see. Let's go to the scale. See what it says. Oh, there's the dog. So that's at Christ, Ace. Well, anyway, here, we might edit all this shit out. So there it is, 1.1. So six cards, a cardboard filler, and a number 10 envelope at 1.1 ounces. And then, so we'll buy the postage for 2 ounces through the eBay server, and then we'll include an additional ounce stamp. And that'll be non-machinable. It should go fine. And then these 3 guys. So these are kind of an interesting case. These are part of an interesting case study that I'm kind of doing, evaluating cost averages and performance of a particular card brand, I guess. So, and this is Topps Triple Thread. So we got a Michael Vick. And the cool thing about this was, like, no BS. These were listed last night, and a Richard Sherman, and that one's short printed at 99. I listed these last night right around 11 p.m. Central. I woke up in the morning, and then they're all gone. And what the thing about that, I'll discuss further in the price study, but these are some interesting cards. And other than that, man, that's all I got. I hope that tomorrow we got something. Yesterday was swing and a miss, struck it out. It goes like that sometimes, and that's why you always got to show up show back up and do it again tomorrow. Hey, what's shaking, everybody? It is Tuesday, February 2nd, Groundhog's Day. Believe it or not, man. Heard a strange anecdote or read on the internet today that the old Puxatawny Phil had passed away a couple weeks ago. Nobody said anything, so they were rolling out a new Groundhog today. I don't know how it went. It's got to be one of the stranger Groundhog Day stories I've ever heard. So today, man, we've got more Topps triple thread going out, and that's nice to see. Got some Bengals and some Saints. I had a buyer come in and buy a multi-card lot of some Saints, and I put out there on social, man, used to be a time when a guy couldn't give a Saints card or a Bengals card away. I remember back in the 70s and 80s, man. Good luck, man. If you were stuck with those cards, you were stuck with them for eternity, and it was crazy. What I'll do is I'll team bag these guys, and I'll put one top loader in the backside. Like I'll show you this one real quick. Because like at the end of the day, this is just like a $5 lot of cards. And if I load them up with top loaders, they're going to be heavy. I'm going to pay more in postage. I can get it there for probably under $3.50. So we'd be looking at a $2 net or whatever. It's definitely nothing to write home about per se. But what's cool about that is you get a chance to kind of I'll take an older top loader, and then I just slide it in there in the back, if it'll go, and then it kind of makes it rigid. So and then I'll just put cardboard over the top of it, stick it in the bubble mailer. Bada boom, bada bing, just like that, man. And then we've got a bunch of singles to send out. Actually, there'll be a double, and I believe it is this combination right here. But anyway, so we got a Pat Pete, and we got a 2021 Classic CD Lamb in that chrome premium stock. Good looking cards, man. I'm always a fan of classics. So here's a triple threads. Oh, and then we had another Bengals fan. Like I said, Saints and Bengals. Picked up playoffs. I can't read that without hearing playoffs. It's kind of wild. And then Logan Wilson, and this guy's a stud, man. I've been watching him play a middle linebacker last few weeks, the nationally televised games, and I like what I'm seeing out of Logan Wilson. So that's going out. And then so we got the triple threads, and we've kind of been talking about those on the card study. We set our offer listings kind of liberally. So I think this one we sold for like $1. This one went for the full 182, and the $1.82 is also it does not include the 58 cents shipping. So what would that be? Like $2.35. And kind of like what I was thinking was, would a buyer like this card for under a $2.50 price point? And evidently they do, because they're like flying off the shelves. This will make this is a lot of 5. We've sold 10 of them in the last 2 days. And then, so that's been interesting, because, I like looking at the triple threads. We should be able to mail them out. I think there's a combination where these two cards, and I'm using 55-point top loaders, and I'll slide those in an A6 envelope. I'll team bag them both, put them in an A6 envelope, send them like that. I won't use just the 9-row card sheet on these guys, just because they're a little bit thicker. I'm gonna give a little bit of rigidity, a non-machinable stamp. So anyways, that's it, and that's that. It's nice to be able to send these out to people today. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Hey, what's shaking, everybody? It is Thursday, February 3rd. We're under a sheet of ice a day after Groundhog's Day. You know how it goes. So I'm kind of stacking up today's outgoing mail. Pretty small fulfillment load. Actually, all of this is only 3 different lots. So that's not anything, it's not too big of a deal. I mean, we can get those out in just a few minutes. After a while, when you start off, man, or even it doesn't really matter. All I'm trying to say is sometimes, man, it can be daunting, the amount of cards you have to ship. And what I've found is the more I ship, the more efficient it is, and the better I get at it. So had a guy come in, and this is actually a repeat buyer that has bought a couple stacks over the last couple days. Came back to hit up the Saints bin, which is good, because I've got a lot of Saints to put in. One of the things that was kind of holding me up was space in my card boxes. And this opens up some space to be able to put some new scans and new inventory in. So I'm thankful for that. Kind of an interesting lot, a lot of times these are the type of cards that when I was looking at them, I thought, man, it's hard to convince yourself that they'd sell, but if they're at the right price point, they will. And when a buyer can come in and he's a team collector, he might want to, and he mixed it up with a Steeler and a Bear and a Raven too. So you never know how those buyers are going to look at it. And luckily, I've had buyers like that have kind of changed my mind, that make me more willing to list other cards that maybe a year ago I wouldn't have listed. And then another repeat customer stopped in and picked up a small lot of Steelers, and we'll send those out PWE, pretty cool. And then just a single out of the quarter stacks. So, that comes out a 99-cent card with 58-cent shipping, which is pretty cool, for us. I mean, that generates some revenue. We're grateful for that. So, man, that's all it is, down and dirty. 3 quick sales today. We can't wait to do it again tomorrow. Hey, what's shaking, sports fans? It is Friday, February 4th. Kind of mid-morning after a snowfall, and man, I could almost open a barbecue joint with the way sales are going, slow and low. So this is all we got going out this morning, and here's another Topps triple thread. This experiment's going pretty well. One thing I found out was we're now 72 hours after we posted the original listings. And as with any card, the sales have kind of fallen flat. It almost makes you want to think about a strategy in which you could rotate listings in and out like every 2 or 3 days, just copy and paste a listing here and there. And, it's up for 2 days. You click create similar, repost it as brand new, and then there you go. And then a 3-card lot going out to a Bengals fan today. Yeah, that's it, man. 6 cards, real slow day. Like if I look at the numbers, yeah, come on up here, come on up. Yeah, so if I look at the numbers, no sales today, of course, but $16 yesterday, 21, 29, so that's about $66 in revenue over the last 3 days. That's not too bad. You sure don't expect excuse me, you sure don't expect $66 in revenue from cards like this. That's the whole thing that continues to blow me away day after day. And with that said, man, let's do this again tomorrow. What is shaking, everybody? It is Saturday, February 5th. I was enjoying the ice on the trees this morning. It was amazing. Here's today's outgoing mail. So yeah, this pile of stuff in front of us. It's all going out. Just actually not a lot of multiple purchases, just like a couple stacks, I guess, if you will. Trying to keep these guys straight here. Had a couple different stacks, couple different repeat buyers stopped in and bought different sizes of stacks, and then some guys came in, and a lot of these were just 99-cent auctions, so they were single cards that we had listed at a fixed price, and we turned around and turned them to auction. After about 30 days, why not? This came out of the single card listing, 2007 Topps Chrome. Just, man, it's a nice looking card. And what's crazy is, like, Troy Smith, okay, so that's a common rookie, but this common rookie sells, whereas like if Troy Smith, his common rookie, if it was 2006 Chrome, maybe not. 2008 Chrome, maybe not. 2007 seems to be popular with the buyers. Nice silver Freddie Taylor. And then orange foil 14 out of 50 short print Larry Fitzgerald. So then we had a guy that stopped by last week, bought a few lots of cards, stopped in and bought just a couple refreshers. And I can't help but wonder sometimes if the buyers, they come in, they buy like a big stack or a couple big stacks. And then they come back a little while later and they kind of do like another feeler. It's almost like fishing. You get a big bite and then a little while later you get some smaller bites and then they come back and they bite big again, maybe. So it's kind of interesting to kind of track what they buy, what they return for. And to be honest with you, man, that buys a lot of the, that drives a lot of the buying that I'm starting to do. You know, I'm paying attention to the repeat customers. What do they like to pick up? And then buying kind of accordingly, buying along those styles and tastes. And what's cool about that is it really helps me to learn more about cards and overall. So that went out to new guy. And then, man, our old standby, Jerry in Nampa, man, thanks again, buddy. We sure appreciate it. He's got a kind of a eclectic, esoteric taste. He stops in and he buys from all different teams. There are some teams that he seems to prefer time and time again, but yeah, he stopped in and said, hey, man, let me buy some Jags. And he just goes in there and he raids those quarter boxes, man, or he raids those dollar boxes, turns them into quarter boxes. You know, we're looking at about 100 cards a week, man. You know, it's really kind of crazy. And what's cool about that is, just like, for instance, this card, you wouldn't think, hey, man, that's just in a commons box. But, you know, when you know that you've got guys and gals that are coming in to check out cards, specifically like those dollar boxes, man, you kind of like to set it up to where you can buy some better, more interesting cards and stick them in there as kind of like a bonus. Like if I'm a Lamar Jackson collector and I can pick that up for 25 cents, man, I'm stoked. You know, so that's kind of, you know, just kind of looking at it from the buyer's perspective. As always, man, sure appreciate Jerry coming in, picking up some cards, coming through for us. So really that's about it. So when you break it down like that, man, it's no problem to ship. We'll be in and out of here in no time. You know, Pro Bowl this week, looking forward to Super Bowl next week, but most of all, I'm looking forward to doing this with you again tomorrow. Hey, what's shaking, everybody? It is about 11 o'clock on Sunday morning, February 6th. We've got just a few cards to send out. Once again, let me kind of adjust the camera. Yeah, so real slow day. And, you know, in our eBay store, I offer 1 day shipping, which a lot of people, you know, when I listen to a lot of people talk about it, a lot of people are like, you know, I don't want to ship that quickly. I picked 1 day shipping. I don't even know why, but I did. But I found it's pretty easy. And then on times like this, like if a buyer comes in and buys a card like this on a Friday, that 1 day really doesn't take effect until Monday. So you get some leeway during the weekend, which is pretty cool. But it doesn't. But you know, I always like to keep a regular routine of waking up in the morning and you know, shipping these cards, because man, I'd hate to have a backlog, because some days, as you've seen, it can get crazy. Here's a 90 score Doug Flutie, and you know, it's really not that big of a deal, not that big of a card, but kind of the reason for sharing this is that it is a card that will sell. So you know, that's a buyer stopped in, bought that at 99 cents, 58 cents for shipping. So you're looking at net revenue of, you know, $1.57. You ship it off, you know, it's good to go. And so it's just kind of crazy, man. It never fails to surprise me. This was an auction, a short print. And this was one of the cards we got in a lot. We picked up from MMJ, Old Rad Wizard World. MMJ, the Terminator. So he put this, you know, I had this Grant Delpit. I put it up as an auction. I think I'll just keep that mini in there and just, hey, surprise, thanks, man. 99 cent card. thing is, man, minis, I have them, but man, they seem tough to deal with, and just the mailing a mini out, like if someone was to buy just that and throwing that through the mail, it's just that small, regardless of top loader or whatever. At least with a larger card, if it gets into the system, man, it can a larger card can handle potential damage, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And then yet again, man, Jerry stopping in. This time he picked up the Cowboys. He's got a few teams he likes to hit on regularly, but at the same time, you never know what he's gonna show up and build a stack with. Now, this is a 14 card lot, and this will be challenging to ship because it might, even though the majority of these are paper cards, they might be tough to fit in a three-way binder. So I'm gonna check it out. And what kind of sucks about that is, so this is like $3.50 plus 71 shipping. It typically costs me about $3.80 to send a bubble mailer to Nampa, Idaho. So, man, we're really paying to send this in a bubble mailer, to be honest. So it behooves us to find a way to envelope ship it. So we'll see. Typically, what's cool is he'll show up with a couple of these that kind of reduces that impact a little bit. And I haven't had any crazy feedback from his post office, which I used to have. So that's a good thing. So it means that our longer letters are getting in. And just to take a couple minutes and share with you guys the numbers while I move through the dead space of time. So here we're looking at, our last, today we're at a buck and a half. We're killing it. 113 over the last 7 days. I mean, you guys are seeing what we're selling. The last 31 days, just a little over 1,000 and a little over 1,800 for the last 90 days. And you can see that 1,000 of that is 30 days. So, not 450 a month prior to that. So, man, it is what it is. We're grateful for it, and we're glad to be able to send those out. So, and I can't help but think a big part of that has to do with showing up and doing it again tomorrow. So see you then.